It's Pride Month, and this is a month dedicated to fighting for equality for the entire LGBTQ community. This is also a season, sadly, where we're seeing a lot of hatred around us against Asians and Blacks and Jews and Palestinians, you name it. Now, those of you who know me as an executive coach know that I have an intense belief in the power of an individual to change and transform and tweak. When it comes to inclusion, they say inclusion starts with the individual. I truly believe that if each of us shows up as a bumped up version of ourselves, if each of us becomes just a drop more inclusive, we can tamp down some of that hatred and bring a little bit more joy and love into the world. So today, I have 3 actionable ways that each of us can become more inclusive and embrace the difference around us. Let's start with own it. Each of us is biased. Being biased is human, it's natural. The problem is both our conscious and unconscious biases often lead to hurt and discrimination. We make all sorts of assumptions every day about all sorts of people, about females, gays, trans, people of color, disabled. These assumptions can lead to harm. So here's the counteraction. It's own it. Start by recognizing that you've made an assumption. Acknowledge that you're human, and then replace the unkind or harmful thought with a kinder and more empathetic one. Next is call it out. When you witness someone being hurtful, dismissive, or biased, call it out. Now, there's no need to be rude when you call it out. I happen to be a proponent of respectful communication in all things. But for example, if you see a female colleague being talked over or interrupted in a business meeting, you can say something like, "Hang on, I'd like to hear more about what Juanita is saying." Or you can say something like, "I totally agree with what Jane said earlier." So call it out respectfully. And the final actionable way to become more inclusive is to diversify. When we expose ourselves to what is new, foreign, or different, we become more sensitive, we're more empathetic. The challenge is that for many of us, our worlds, both in person and online, are very narrow. We lack diversity. So if you find yourself hiring one kind of person, socializing with one kind of person, reading one kind of author, or even eating one kind of food or listening to one kind of music, then challenge yourself to diversify. When we expand our minds, we will become richer, more empathetic, more sensitive, and therefore more inclusive. Inclusion definitely starts with an I. It also has an us in it. In the spirit of inclusivity, I'll end with an Islamic proverb. A lot of different flowers make a bouquet. Let's make a beautiful one together. I'm Ora, Executive Coach. Please take a moment to hit the subscribe button and have a blast.